Let's see if the second half is as good as the first. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Was It Good? My name is Bob, and last night I checked out the brand new episode of Shogun. This is episode 6, Ladies of the Willow World. And episodes 1 through 5 I thought were very good on this show, and now that we're getting into the second half of the show, I'm hoping that the second half is just as good as the first half. Now, before we get into the review, I do want to go ahead and let you know that there are going to be some spoilers discussed from the previous episodes, but I am going to try to keep spoilers at a bare minimum for this episode. Now, if you've seen the episode, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you thought about it? Why don't you leave a comment in the comment section below? Let me know your thoughts. It's okay if you disagree with mine. All I ask is that when you leave a comment, let's not be disagreeable. Go ahead and hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the review. The plot of this episode, just like the episodes before, I thought was very good. We saw at the end of episode 5 that John Blackthorne saved Toranaga during an earthquake, but much of Toranaga's army was destroyed. We also saw the return of Lady Ochiba back to Osaka, and we find out in this episode that she returned to Osaka in order to accelerate the Council of Regents campaign against Toranaga. Now, back in Ojiro, where Toranaga's at, he's picking up the pieces and has to come up with a new battle plan to defeat his enemies. All while he's doing this, he puts Lady Mariko's loyalty to his cause to the test. Now, this episode, we saw the focus shift from Toranaga to the women of the show. We saw it shift specifically to Mariko and Lady Ochiba. And I thought that was actually very important because we got to see a little bit more about their backgrounds and how they dealt with different decisions that were made by Mariko's father. As you remember from the previous episode, Lady Ochiba's father was the leader of Japan at the time, and Mariko's father killed him. So we see how that decision affected both women. We also see in this episode Toranaga kind of as a chess master in that he's kind of moving the pieces around. We see that he puts kind of some discipline on Butaro for the events that happened in the previous episode, and that discipline's going to cause some complications, I'm sure, down the line. And also we see that Blackthorne still wants to leave Japan. He still wants his ship back, but all the while Toranaga knows that he can't let him leave. He's showering him with gifts and even comes up with this idea in order to test Lady Mariko's loyalty, as well as to kind of settle Blackthorne's mind to have Mariko arrange a visit with a courtesan. And I thought that was a whole interesting concept, and the way that that was handled throughout the episode I thought was very good. Also, we see that Lady Ochiba herself is very much a chess master as well, as she's moving the pieces around and she's manipulating those around her. Like I said in my previous review, I was getting Cersei Lannister vibes from her, and it's very clear that she has a lot of political sway, and it was very cool to see her kind of maneuvering around everybody and kind of getting the outcome that she wanted. The way the episode ended, I thought was pretty good, and it seems like it's setting up something big for the remainder of the episodes. Overall, I thought it was a solid plot. The acting is exceptional throughout this episode, just as it is throughout the entire show. Both of our main ladies shined in this episode. Anna Sawai as Lady Mariko and Fumi Nikaido as Lady Ochiba both are excellent in their roles, and both have to give a lot of depth to their performances because we see their characters through a series of flashbacks, and we see the impact that certain decisions had on both characters. And I think both actresses do a great job in portraying how they reacted to those situations and where their characters are at now because of those events. I think both of them did a fantastic job. Also, both Lady Mariko and Lady Ochiba are extremely different in that Lady Mariko internalizes everything. She wants to avenge her father, and she's not able to. And you see that come through in her performance, where with Lady Ochiba, she's very vengeful, very manipulative because of the things that happened to her. And I think the actress who plays her also does a fantastic job of portraying that. So both actresses do a great job. And once again, the entire cast is fantastic. I think the look of the show is amazing as always. I can't say enough about the world that they built for this show. I think the costumes are great. I think the sets are great. And I think the way that it's filmed is very good. I think all three of those elements come together very well in this one particular scene in which Blackthorn and Mariko are sitting in this tea house and they meet the courtesan that John is supposed to be with. And I think the way that that particular scene is shot is very well done, and everything just kind of comes together. Once again, the look of the show is very good. I found myself very entertained by this episode. I think that the political drama is very engaging, and the performances, specifically by the actresses who played Lady Mariko and Lady Ochiba, I thought were fantastic. Their performances just drew me in, and every time they were on screen, I found myself enjoying it. Now, was this episode good? Yes, it was. I think this show is fantastic, and I really hope that they stick the landing. There are 4 episodes left, so we'll see what happens. If you're still watching, I'd like to go ahead and thank you for sticking with me this long. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next review.